I want you to think about something. What's the most successful, most prepared recipe in the entire world? Nope, it's not your grandma's lasagna, not some fancy pastry. It's something that's been perfected over billions of years and is made trillions of times a day all across our planet. Yep, the answer is photosynthesis. And it is, without a doubt, life's most important recipe. So in this explainer, we're going to put on our chef's hat and break down this incredible process, step by step. So here's what's on the menu today. We'll start with the basic formula, then we'll look at how a plant gathers its ingredients. We'll peek inside the green kitchen where all the magic happens, check out the finished product, and finally get into why this one recipe matters to, well, literally everyone. All right, let's get cooking. First up, life's most important recipe. And I am not exaggerating when I say this simple formula quite literally powers our entire planet. So what is photosynthesis, really? At its heart, it's the amazing process where green plants use light energy, water, and carbon dioxide to whip up their own food. It's basically how plants eat. You know, they're called autotrophs, which is just a fancy way of saying they make their own food. Not like us, we're heterotrophs. We've got to order takeout or raid the fridge. This image here, it lays it all out perfectly. Think of it like a recipe card. The inputs, or ingredients, are sunlight, CO2 from the air, and water from the ground. And the outputs, the good stuff that comes out, that's glucose, plant food, and oxygen, which, is kind of important for us to breathe. Right, but a plant can't just pop down to the shops for these ingredients. So how does it get them? That brings us to our next part, gathering the ingredients for this solar-powered feast. Okay, ingredient number 1, water. Simple enough. The plant just soaks it up from the soil through its roots. Ingredient 2, carbon dioxide. The plant literally breathes this in from the air through these tiny little pores on its leaves called stomata. And the final, and you could say the star ingredient, light energy, that's captured from the sun by a really special green pigment. Okay, ingredients are gathered. Now for the big question. Where does all the cooking actually take place? Let's take a peek inside the green kitchen to see where this incredible transformation goes down. And here it is. This is the kitchen. It's called a chloroplast. These are tiny, solar-powered factories inside every plant cell. And see that green color? That's from chlorophyll, the pigment we just talked about. Think of it as the solar panel that soaks up all that sunlight. All right, don't let the sciencey-looking formula scare you. This right here is the recipe. It's actually pretty simple. It's telling us that you take 6 bits of carbon dioxide, add 6 bits of water, then, with a blast of light energy, the chloroplast rearranges everything to make 1 molecule of glucose, that's the plant's sugar energy, and 6 molecules of oxygen as a leftover. And voila! That brings us to the finished product. The meal is served. So what exactly did the plant just cook up? Let's look at the 2 amazing things that come out of this process. First, you've got glucose. This is the main dish. It's a sugar that fuels the plant, helping it grow. And if the plant is full, it just packs the leftovers away as starch for later. Super efficient. Then there's the other product, oxygen. Now for the plant, this is basically just exhaust, a waste product it releases. But for us, and pretty much all other animal life, that waste product is the very air we need to breathe. Kind of incredible, right?
Okay, this all sounds really neat. But how do we actually know for sure that plants are making this food? I mean, how can you prove it? Well, it turns out there's a really cool and surprisingly simple experiment you can do to see it with your own eyes.
It's called the iodine test for starch, and it's like being a food detective. Step 1, you boil a leaf in water. This just softens it up. Step 2, you boil that same leaf in alcohol. This is the key part. It strips out all the green chlorophyll so you can see what's underneath. And a little safety note here, you'd want to do this in a water bath because alcohol is flammable. Step 3, you just rinse the leaf off and add a few drops of iodine solution. And check this out. This is the moment of truth. If you do this test on a leaf that has both green and white parts, like this one here, the result is just wow. The iodine turns all the parts that used to be green a deep blue-black color. The white parts? Nothing. They stay the same. This is the smoking gun. It proves that starch, the food, was only made in the parts of the leaf that had chlorophyll. The recipe only works in the green kitchen. So we've seen the recipe, we've seen the proof. Now it's time to zoom all the way out and ask the big question.
Why does this one tiny chemical reaction matter so much? What's the global impact here?
Honestly, it's hard to overstate how important this is. First off, it's the very foundation of pretty much every food chain on the planet. It's the process that takes pure energy from the sun and turns it into chemical energy, food, that everything else can use. It pumps out the oxygen that we need to live, and on top of all that, it keeps the balance of oxygen and CO2 in our atmosphere just right, driving the whole carbon cycle for the entire planet. It's everything. There's a line from the source material that just says it all perfectly. Photosynthesis cannot be done artificially. Therefore, this process carried out by green plants is essential for the maintenance of life on Earth. Think about that. We can't replicate it. We can't build a machine that does what a single leaf does. It's a completely natural process that is absolutely essential for life.
So I want to leave you with this final thought to chew on. Plants figured out how to run the world on clean solar power billions of years ago. They perfected it. So as we grapple with our own energy problems and a changing climate, maybe the biggest question is, what can we learn from their recipe?